that field, remember, confidence is everything.
Floats it downfield. A gutsy call.
Over the middle. He's got a man. Some fireworks here early. Showing up angry.
This dude is an animal.
It's time to play.
Oh, big hit.
Tackled and the ball comes out. What a quick turn of events.
Picked off. Game changer.
One-handed touchdown. That is something special right there.
And it's caught. Mayhem in week 2.
Tomorrow on Fox, the United Football League kicks off the Week 3 action with a battle between the Memphis Showboats and the Birmingham Stallions. It all begins at 7 Eastern on Fox. Spring just got stronger.
Deion Sanders, who worked a dozen or so drafts for the NFL Network, says he knows for a fact that draft slots are manipulated. Here's what he said.
This is going to go viral. I'm going to give you a viral moment. It's done every year, but the teams are in control of it.
What do you mean?
You have guys that are slated to go and slotted to go at this number pick. Randomly, something comes out that they flunked the drug test, or they have this type of injury, or they were seen with this, and wildly, their draft grade drops. How does that happen? How does that mysteriously come out right before the draft? That's even more harsh. Now you're affecting someone's livelihood, and you're putting a tremendous rumor on somebody that may not even be true. Mm-hmm. So that's done every year. The reason I know that, I worked the draft, I think, for about 10 to 12 years straight. I know that to be true.
Keyshawn, your thoughts on that?
Well, I've worked the draft for ESPN for a number of years as well. So, and I've had a lot of information that I never used on air about guys' character or drug tests and all those sort of things. You get this information, but I don't necessarily know who's putting it out there. Where's it coming from? Is it coming from the teams that are sitting in a certain spot that all of a sudden is spooking the team that is at the top before you scare them? Oh, Skip Bayless is right before the night before the draft or 2 days before the draft. And I know Skip is going to probably most likely go at 5, but I can't get up to 5, but I can stay at 14. And I know those other teams between 5 and 14 doesn't need Skip Bayless or Paul Pierce, but I'm going to put that information out there to get them to start to slip. And as people start to dive into it, they take them off the board.
Even if the info is not true?
Well, I don't know if the
exaggerated
information... It's going to always be exaggerated. More than what it is, right? Before it was flunking drug tests. Well, everybody in the world smoke weed. It's illegal. You can buy it on every damn corner. At liquor stores and everywhere else nowadays.
But back in the day, it was not
But back in the day, it was not legal. And so guys in college, you would think, okay, they're in college, this is college. You know these things take place. But they would exaggerate it to the degree of saying he flunked a drug test. They didn't tell you specifically what it would be. It's just he flunked a drug test. Now, all of a sudden, that person starts to slide. And just so happened, it falls right into the Dallas Cowboys' lap. And the Dallas Cowboys say, well, we know how to handle that internally inside. We good. We can manage those problems. All of those sort of things. So it does, in fact, happen. There's no question about it. But at the same time, some of the stuff is legit. Dudes do have peas for brains, and they don't know how to do certain things. And when it's put out there, they drop, and a team sees that they're falling, and they say, we can handle that. We can deal with that, and they wind up drafting them. And it, like Deion said, it hurts guys' wallets and pocketbooks, things of that nature. And they come into a situation where all of a sudden people are looking at them and saying, okay, this is such a bad guy. He's a bad guy. We got to watch every move he makes around the community and all that. And it doesn't ever amount to that. You seen it last year with the kid from Georgia who had the car accident. It went from he was supposed to be a top 5 pick till he slid all the way to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles just so happen to have a number of players from Georgia on their team, so they have a relationship with the University of Georgia. They got the right intel. They said, we're going to take him. We'll take him. We'll take him in the first round, no problem. We can handle him. And that happens.
But they didn't have to put, plant stories because the story was already planted. It was a national story.
They didn't have to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that story in the car accident situation was one thing. Then it became an exaggerated story of he was out of shape. Look how he ran.
True.
And they just went and ran with it, Skip, and made it more. They put a lot of yeast on it and blew it up and made it more than what it is.
His pro day, he did not look fit.
Most big dudes aren't going to look fit. They're on the Chitlin circuit, hanging out. The season's over.
True.
That's funny you say a lot of this. I think I was a victim of this. I was first team All-American, Kansas, up for National Player of the Year. Every draft board had me projected at number 2, no worse than number 5. I only worked out for the top 5 teams in the draft. Draft night comes, I slide to 10. I slide to 10.
Where were you on draft night? Did you go to the draft?
I was in the green room, projected. It was in Vancouver.
One of them bad suits on.
It was in Vancouver, projected to go number 10. They had the signs out. I'm leaning forward, number 2 pick. Mike Bibby. Great player. Michael Olowokandi won number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen this firsthand. And in the arena, you had the war room up at the box. I knew exactly where it was because I'm thinking that after I go there, do my interviews, I'm going up there. I saw top agent at the time in my era was David Falk.
Yeah.
I saw him literally up in the room before the draft. This is like probably an hour before the draft. Who's his client? Mike Bibby. So when I don't go number 2, I'm supposed to go no worse than number 5. I go 10 now. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? A lot of people are like, what's wrong? After I got drafted, it's like, what's wrong with Paul? Oh, he didn't have great workouts. Yes, I did have great workouts. Oh, yeah, there was a situation where I did fail the drug test. It didn't get out. It didn't get out. It was a marijuana test, which was highly illegal, which I did fail. It was after the season.
Okay,
really? It was after the season.
Okay, do you think the teams knew it? Do you think 1 through 9?
I don't think it knew it because it wasn't national news.
Okay.
It wasn't national news. The only people that knew was Coach Williams and maybe some of my teammates.
Oh, you failed at college?
At college.
In college?
In college. The summer before, though. This is the next draft. So I don't know if that had some play into it. It had nothing to do with if you're judged off your character from that, I wasn't a party kid. I was in the gym. I was a gym rat. So maybe that could have affected. And the rest is history. It had no effect on my career. And I'm happy that I did end up in Vancouver at the time, which eventually went to Memphis.
Okay,
so
is there a way that the Boston Celtics were putting out the information hoping they could get you down at 10?
That's a possibility because this happens all the time. Like, they'll tell you they'll pick one person, not pick them. They'll be like, oh, there's some red flags. There's red flags. He had bad workout. He felt the drug test. But I still don't know this to this day, 100%. But maybe it's some inside information, but this happens on the regular. So
no, it happens a lot.
This been happening.
It happens a lot, and at the same time, on the reverse side of it, it happens a lot. Skip Bayless is the greatest guy we ever talked to. Greatest dude ever. He's working, he goes in the classroom, he does this, he does that, We really like him. He's a great character guy. In the moment that he gets to the National Football League, he's the one giving all the drugs to everybody. It happens. No, Skip, it happens.
I've never used a drug in my life, just for the record.
That's just what they say, though. They draft a guy based on his great character.
No, you're
and
right.
all of those things.
You're right.
It's like, wait a minute, man.
Okay,
that dude just did this.
Okay, so the classic one in recent memory was the Laramie Tunsil right before the draft. The video gets leaked, and he's got the mask on.
But that was his, I believe it was his stepfather, either his stepfather or his mother's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever the case may be. I covered the draft. Yeah. Larry Tunsil did not want to deal with him and go with the agency and all of that sort of stuff. So the dude got mad.
Yeah.
Right before the draft. And he got the bomb thing with the face mask.
Yeah.
And he dropped, and Mike Tannenbaum and the Miami Dolphins said,
we'll take him.
Oh, we'll take him.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll take him.
And guess what? I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And he probably is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Rob Gronkowski fell to the second round because everybody said he's got a bad back, and Belichick said, I can work with it, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez. We heard all kinds of stories about Aaron Hernandez, and they were true. You know, they were.
But some people ignored it. They ignored it.
Belichick said, I'll take a shot. What was it? I can't remember. Third round?
Third round.
Third round. And Belichick got a lot out of him, and then he didn't.
And then he didn't.
Okay.
It didn't go so well.
All right. Okay. It's GOAT time. Lil Wayne joins us right here, right now, in studio to debate Lakers and these all-time greatest NBA playoffs about to happen.
Man, he came to work.
Yeah.
He ain't